It's Elizabeth Estel, Homeschool Christian Mom, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm talking today about the Writing and Grammar 7 from BJU Press Homeschool. It has wonderful lessons in it, and I just wanted to highlight why it's so important to buy a good curriculum that has a biblical worldview. It makes a huge difference, and I know we as parents have been teaching our children for years and years the important biblical truths that impact our culture and society today. But there's a huge pushback against Christianity right now. And so you want to have a good curriculum that's going to reinforce those values. So I was looking at chapter 10, Pronouns and Antecedents, and it's talking about how a pronoun replaces a noun. So Susie went to the zoo, she went to the zoo. And it's great, it talks all about that. And it's, I invited Juan to the recital. I invited Juan and, did I invite she to the recital or did I invite her to the recital? I invited she to the recital? No, I invited her to the recital. So the correct choice is I invited Juan and her to the recital. So this is just wonderful. It's just talking about how you would use that and how it works in the real world and when you have writing, and it has practices, and each example is followed by several choices that get more difficult as you go along. And it's talking about different strategies to use pronouns. But then, you know what it talks about? Every time in the Bible that God is referred to, he is referred to as he, a masculine pronoun. And some books are trying to take that away. And they're saying he/she, or God has feminine characteristics. But we have to be very careful. If every time in the Bible God refers to himself as he, guess what? That's what he wanted. And so we have to be very careful as we talk about God and we talk about our curriculum that we're getting with homeschooling, that these things match up, because we do not want our children to be desensitized to what is going on in the world and culture and what is going on in the Bible. And if we're not careful, we're going to have our children desensitized to this. So when you're thinking about a curriculum, you want a curriculum that has a biblical worldview and is reinforcing your biblical values every day as they're homeschooling. Now, this doesn't go on and on about it, but that's a very important part of this lesson with pronouns. And you want your children to know what the Bible says about God and who he is and why it's important. Now, the Writing and Grammar book goes very carefully through and shows orderliness. And so, excuse me, it shows God's orderliness, and that's what we want for our children. There's a great schedule in the back for how you do your lessons if you were doing it 2 semesters or 1 semester on page 442. And I highly recommend this curriculum. Yes, you can teach your children 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, all the way through. And you can do it with a good curriculum, and a good curriculum that has a biblical worldview. Thank you so much for joining me. Please join me on my Facebook group, Homeschool Christian Mom, and my YouTube channel also. Talk to you later.